Welcome aboard, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here with yet another live edition of Fire Your MD Now. Check the website out, 24/7, fireyourmdnow.com. And to call me and speak to me live today and every weekday, Monday through Friday, 4 to 5 p.m. Central Time. The toll-free number, 866-582-9933. That's 866-582-9933. Lord, what fools these mortals be. I was talking to a client today. Remember, I can't call him a patient because I'm only licensed to practice medicine in 16 states in the United States, and where I live in Illinois, they have not yet seen the wisdom of allowing naturopathic physicians to legally practice medicine. So I can't practice medicine in the great state of Illinois. I can do health consultations as much as I want, but I can't practice medicine, which is just, outrageous. It's like passing a law in Illinois that says that says the only people that can sell hamburgers here are McDonald's. Nobody else gets to sell a hamburger in the great state of Illinois. That's against the law. The only people that can practice medicine here are the MDs, period. That's it. That's the long and the short of it. That's the end of the conversation. For goodness sake, the home of the AMA is in Chicago. You think they're ever going to let the naturopaths have a scope of practice here? Give me a break. You think they're ever going to give the chiropractors their due? Give me a break. We do not have a free medical market. We haven't had a free medical market in the United States since the early 1920s. Most people have completely forgotten or have no clue about the evolution of medicine as it's occurred here in the United States. A good book about this is my book, The MD Emperor Has No Clothes. And in that book, my book, I make an allusion to another book written by E. Richard Brown called Rockefeller Medicine Man. Rockefeller Medicine Man. And it gives a very nice, detailed overview of the medical theater here in the United States in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and how it has evolved into the gigantic behemoth that it is. If you're a history buff, you're not going to want to miss this book. It's hard to find it now. You can find it on Amazon.com. It's not in print anymore. You can only find a used copy. It's called A Rockefeller Medicine Man. But really, my book is better, Who Made the MD King? Well, it's not better, it's just different. If you want detailed history, get Rockefeller Medicine Man. If you want an overview that's funny, poignant, and to the point, pick up my book. By the way, makes a great Christmas present. Christmas is coming up, and it's available in ebook form. But I digress again, right? As is my wont. Talking to a client today, not a patient. This guy has a tumor of the glands in his face, the parotid gland or parotid gland, depending on how you pronounce it, depending on what part of the country you're in. And, of course, I can't treat cancer. Nobody but an oncologist can treat cancer. He's in England, by the way. So he told me his concerns, and I told him what I would do if I were in his shoes in order to support and promote the health of my body in the face of an MD diagnosis of squamous cell carcinoma of the parotid gland. And he told me that when he went in for his diagnostic workup, they injected a radioactive dye into his veins so that they could have a better MRI. I believe he had an MRI with radioactive dye contrast. Might have been a CT scan with radioactive dye contrast. And they told him, after the procedure was over, that for a couple of days he needed to stay away from small children and women because he was radioactive. Now, all right, so let's just think about this, okay? Medical science knows that ionizing radiation is one of the causes of cancer. That's one of the things that it does. It messes you up. It destroys the DNA, the genetic material in the cells of your body, And in destroying the genetic material in the cells of your body, your cells become runaway trains, and they cannot stop making copies of themselves, and that's one of the ways that tumors form. That the DNA inside the cell becomes damaged and or destroyed, and so the cell just churns. It's like a copy machine that's gotten stuck. It's just making copies, making copies, making copies, making copies. Why? Well, because the DNA was damaged. What causes DNA damage? Well, a lot of things. One of the main things, ionizing radiation. You know, you get radiation sickness, right? You get cancer is a side effect of ionizing radiation. So this guy, they think he's got cancer. And they inject radioactive dye into his body to see how widespread the cancer is. And the treatment that they have for the cancer doesn't fix the cancer. Now, who's crazy in this situation? Well, number one, he's crazy for letting them do it to him, but, you know, it's really not his fault. You know, it's the medical practitioner's fault because, you know, he's got cancer. He's in the weeds. He's worried. He's nervous. He's afraid. You would be too. He's going to trust the MD, which is our biggest mistake. You know, we think that these people actually know what they're doing. We think that they actually have our best interests at heart. We think that they actually know what's best for us when really all they know is what they've been trained in, and what they've been trained in is one eeny-weeny-teeny piece of the greater pie of medical science. They've been trained in the therapeutic use of drugs and surgery to manage symptoms. So they have a person whom they think has a cancer of a gland in his face, in his cheek, the parotid gland, which secretes saliva into your mouth. They think he has cancer of that, right? And they think it's spread. Now, they know that they don't have a treatment for parotid cancer. They know that they don't have a treatment for that type of cancer that's spread to the stomach or spread to the lungs. They know that they can't treat it. They've got nothing for it. Zero. Except chemotherapy to manage it. You know, they've got nothing that can cure it. Nothing. Zero. So what do? They inject radioactive dye into the guy's body, one of the side effects of which is cancer, in order to see how widespread his cancer is. Well, why? I don't know why, because they can't treat it anyway. And I'm the quack. And I'm not allowed to practice medicine anywhere that I want. But the MDs who get away with this nonsense are. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, I don't know what it's going to take to finally have it all come home. I don't know what it's going to take to finally have you wake up one morning and say, you know what, Dr. Glidden and Dr. Wallach were right all along. My MD's a knucklehead. My MD's got nothing for me unless I'm bleeding to death. My MD's got nothing for me unless I have a bullet in my arm. My MD's got nothing for me unless I've got pneumonia. My MD's got nothing for me unless I've got a 3rd or 4th degree burn. They've got nada, nothing, except dangerous, expensive, symptom suppressive, cancer-causing, harmful treatments. Oh yeah, let's go to those guys. What's it going to take, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, you bend over and take the radioactive dye, and then they tell you, oh, for the next couple days, probably shouldn't be around small children. Probably shouldn't be around women. Probably shouldn't because, you know, the radiation that your body's giving off, yeah, it could hurt people. Well, what about me? What about my body? For goodness sake. Oh, by the way, how much did you just make on that treatment? What type of profit did you turn from giving me that treatment? How much money did the hospital make? Please, I need to know. I really don't know what it's going to take for us to collectively or individually just snap out of it and fire the damn MD. Because they have nothing for you, ladies and gentlemen, except false hope, false promises, dangerous, expensive, and ineffective treatments. And, you know, I'm not blowing smoke here. The leading cause of death in the United States is MD-directed treatments. It is. Look it up. Go to my website. Death by Medicine, right there on the front page. Download it. It's free. 45 pages of documentation with datum drawn from the New England Journal of Medicine, the Journal of the American Medical Association, the Lancet, etc., etc., etc. Facts are a stubborn thing. For goodness sake. We take their rat poison, which is Coumadin, which is a blood thinner. We take their horse hormone, Premarin, for a non-medical condition, and it gives us cancer. Uterine cancer, breast cancer, thrombophlebitis. We take that as much as we want, but oh no, can't take the herb. Oh no, I have to ask my doctor about that. Oh no, can't take the vitamins. There might be too much. Those vitamins might hurt me. You know, it's upside down, inside out, backwards. War is peace. Constant surveillance is freedom. Well, you know, constant debt is the only way to have economic security. Well, no, it's not correct. It's exactly the opposite. It's a lie. Ladies and gentlemen, either by chance or by design, you have been played. You have been played by the pharmaceutical industry. You have been played by an out-of-control medical monster. And it is time you took your health back. It is time. You fired your MD, cleaned up your diet, took your nutritional supplements, got healthy. Get out of the damn way and let your body fix itself. Because your body has a God-given, built-in ability to fix itself. Want me to prove it? Cut your hand. Take a little knife and cut the palm of your hand. Watch the body fix it. You want me to prove it some more? Swallow an apple. Chew up an apple and swallow it. Now, do you have to tell your body how to fix the cut? Do you have to tell your body how to digest the apple? No. It does it all by itself. Your body is endowed with a God-given ability to fix itself. Fire your MD now, ladies and gentlemen. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, 866-582-9933. That's the number to talk to me live. And if you're listening to the podcast, 855-347-3696 is the number that you need to call in order to get information about the products. And if you call me up live and I give you advice about what to do to support and promote the health of your body, and you'd like to actually do it, then give that number a call, 855-347-3696. That's 855-347-3696. My friendly staff will tell you the wholesale price, the shipping costs, will hook you up with everything and let you know when it's going to come and let you know how to take it, and life is good. We're going to go right to the phones now. Marjay is calling with a question about vertigo. Marjay, it's your time on the Dr. Glidden Show. Thanks.
Hello, Dr. Glidden. How are you?
Fine, thanks, Marjay. What's going on?
Okay, well, my mother, who is an IMD, and she's been on the product for about three months now, she's having some vertigo. It's not a new problem. However, I want to make sure that she's taking everything. She developed a reaction to the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, so we switched her to the Ultimate Body Toddy.
Yeah.
And she liked that for a little bit, and then she was nauseous with that, and she says it feels queasy. And she did water it down. She's drinking it slowly and everything, but it feels queasy. So right now, all she can tolerate is the rebound, and she takes that every morning with the EFAs and the Cal Toddy.
Okay.
So what else can we give her? She is on high blood pressure medication and Synthroid for her thyroid. I think that's it.
Yeah, and the beat goes on, right? Well, look, from our point of view, by the way, it may interest you to know that there is a type of vertigo in the medical textbooks called Wallach's vertigo. Dr. Wallach has an illness named after him. That's how good his research is. Now, I really can't say enough about Dr. Wallach. He has an illness named after him because of his research. Now, that's impressive.
Yeah.
From our point of view, the main cause of vertigo, which is dizziness, ladies and gentlemen, that's fancy schmancy doctor talk for getting dizzy, is osteoporosis of the skull, which is a lot less worse than it sounds. That sounds like, oh my God, osteoporosis of the skull, I'm going to die. Well, no. What it means is your skull bone has lost its structural integrity, and because it's lost its structural integrity, there's a little nerve that comes out of your brain that goes to your inner ear, to your middle ear, and it's your middle ear that regulates your balance. When that nerve gets pressed upon inappropriately, you get vertigo. If it's a different nerve that goes to your eardrum, and that gets pressed upon inappropriately, you get ringing in the ears. If it's a different nerve that goes to your eye muscles and it gets pressed upon inappropriately, you get lazy eye, and so forth and so on. So the first thing that we think about when we see somebody who has a vertigo problem is, well, the structure of their skull bone is probably not good. Now, the main therapeutic nutrient here is calcium, which is interesting because your mom also has high blood pressure, and the leading cause of high blood pressure is a calcium deficiency. So if I had to bet which nutrient your mother needed most, it would be calcium. But, like the fella said, nutrient deficiencies always show up in packs. So if your mother ostensibly has a calcium deficiency so bad that it's causing 2 different things, then 5 will get you 10. She has a whole bunch of other nutrients that she needs as well, and that's why Dr. Wallach's program is so effective, because it gives everything that the body needs, not just calcium. All right, so to support and promote the structural integrity of the skull in the presence of an MD diagnosis of vertigo, here's what we do. It would be 1 ultra body toddy, 1 ounce of ultra body toddy per 100 pounds of body weight per day, or, 1 tablespoon of ultra body toddy per 50 pounds of body weight per day. So if she's 150 pounds, give her 3 tablespoons a day. And she should dilute that in some juice, and I would recommend she drinks it during a meal in order to offset the nausea that she's feeling. She needs 1 ounce of calcium, or 1 tablespoon of calcium, the liquid calcium, per 50 pounds of body weight per day. 1 tablespoon of calcium per 50 pounds of body weight per day. And then, once she has that dosage secured, give her 1 extra ounce of calcium. 1 extra ounce of calcium for 3 months a day. 1 extra ounce of calcium per day for 3 months. But the secret sauce here really is glucogel. She needs 1 glucogel capsule per 10 pounds of body weight per day. So if she's 150 pounds, she needs 15 glucogel a day. Throw in a couple of bottles of selenium also, and that will take care of it. Give it 3 months, and don't forget the gluten-free diet. Secure your health with science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. Clean up your diet. Give your body the good stuff that it needs. Stop eating the bad stuff. Nutrify your body. And support and promote your body's ability to fix itself. Now, Marjay, if you're still listening, just to complete this conversation, so what we need to do here is give your mom the 90 essential nutrients plus extra calcium and glucogel. We need the glucogel in order to support and promote the health of her bones, right? Because the skeleton, the skull, is a bone, and that's where the root cause of the problem is most of the time from our point of view with vertigo. And the recommendation as a therapeutic dose of glucogel is 1 capsule per 10 pounds of body weight per day. So if she's 180 pounds, she gets 18 glucogel a day. So 18 times 30 is 540. She would need 540 capsules a month. You need to figure out how many bottles from Longevity you need to buy to get to that number. And whenever you have a bone or a joint problem or a skin or a ligament problem, selenium will help your body to heal those tissues more rapidly. So selenium is a good thing for everybody to take because of its remarkable anti-cancer properties. And if you're attempting to support and promote the health of cartilage and bone or skin, then selenium is never a bad idea. The recommendation, 1 bottle of ultimate selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per day, not to exceed more than 4 bottles a month. So have your mom do that. And she can also get some CM cream, CM like Charlie Michael, CM cream. Load a Q-tip with the CM cream and have her insert the Q-tip gently into one of her ears. If she can figure out Actually, have her put it in both of her ears. Put some CM cream in both ears. Wait 15 minutes and see if that doesn't knock the vertigo down. Sometimes it may. And that's always a good thing to do, because vertigo is just really, it's horrible, because, you know, there's nothing worse than feeling dizzy all of the time. I remember I was seasick for a long time. 3 days in a row I was seasick back in the day. When I was working on a commercial fishing boat off the coast of New England, I was seasick for the first 3 days. If I'd had a gun, I would have shot myself. Being constantly nauseous and with vertigo and the room is spinning, that ain't no fun. So while we're supporting and promoting the body's ability to fix itself with the nutrients, sometimes you get lucky and you can take the edge off the intensity of the symptoms with CM cream applied to the ear canal. So check it out, and thanks for the call. Sandy is up next with a question about insomnia. Sandy, welcome aboard. You are live.
Hi. Can you hear me?
You betcha.
Dr. Glidden?
Yeah.
Okay. My husband has, he's got a few things, and I do know the cause, having listened to your shows now, but there's a couple questions I have. So let me just tell you his basic things, okay? He's got insomnia, and now he's taking sleeping pills, and he's trying to get off the sleeping pills, and I'm hoping there's a way to get off of this. Lower back pain. He's got bladder infection, just had, and he took antibiotics for it, and now it's sort of come back again, where he has this dull pain when he pees. And this isn't just at night, but it's also frequently during the day as well. Okay?
Okay.
And then he does have shingles that comes on and off. I mean, I understand why a lot of this stuff happens, and I can't get him to go completely off gluten like I have. It's like, oh, God, you know, but it's a little like swimming against the tide here, but I'm hoping that I can slowly but surely wean him off all of this garbage. And I just wanted some help with the bladder thing right now and shingles.
All right. So here's what I want you to do. Tonight while he's sleeping, I want you to duct tape him to the bed with, you know, like 100 yards of duct tape. Just duct tape him to the bed and force feed him the nutrients for 7 days. You got to take extreme steps. I don't really want you to duct tape him to the bed, but you get my point. You know, we're our own worst enemies here. So the gluten thing is important for him, for you, for me, for everybody. And, you know, one of the ways that you can maybe convince people that what we're talking about is correct is to let them listen to the expert. So have him listen to this radio show, or better yet, go to drjwallach.com. That's Dr. Wallach's website where he has his books and CDs. And have him purchase or pick up a copy of Dr. Wallach's latest CD. It's called Serial Killer. Serial Killer. It's all about gluten. And if your husband hears Dr. Wallach talking about the net negative effects of gluten, it may compel him to want to stop it himself, because you never know what it's going to take to push somebody over the cliff, right? So sometimes if you let the expert do the talking, it works better than if you yourself just try to convince him what to do. So I would suggest that as a reasonable option here to get your husband into action. Insomnia. Difficulty falling asleep, 99% of the time, is a calcium deficiency problem, which is interesting because he also had high blood pressure, I think you said. That's also a calcium deficiency. Or low back pain. You said he has low back pain. That's a calcium deficiency most of the time also. So 5 will get you 10 that he needs a lot of calcium. So one thing that you can do as an experiment is, for 1 week, 7 days in a row, give him 1 ounce of the liquid calcium in a couple of ounces of orange juice. 4 times a day. 4 times a day. 1 ounce in a couple of ounces of orange juice 4 times a day, with the final dose being immediately before bed. Immediately before bed. And see if over the course of those 7 days, his sleep improves. And if it does, then continue to give him the high dose of calcium like that. And while you're doing that, wean him off of the sleep medication. Every 2 days, cut the sleep medication pill in half. Cut it in half. Or, better yet, call a pharmacist up, ask the pharmacist the best way to come off of the sleep medication, and then get on a reduction program with the sleep medication, because different sleep medications, are different. I don't know if he's on Lunesta or whatever he's on, what kind of nonsense he's taken. Maybe it's an over-the-counter med, I don't know. But it's probably not a bad idea to get a pharmacist's supervision for a reduction schedule of that. And once he gets traction with the sleep, then you got a foot in the door. And once you've got a foot in the door with his sleep, and, the back pain's going to get better also, then perhaps you're going to have a little bit more leverage to get him on the full-blown program, and, which includes being gluten-free. So that's how I would start. There's also Killer Biotic. Longevity's product, Killer Biotic, is a combination of herbs that stimulates the immune system and helps the body to fight infections. So if I had a bladder infection and I treated it with antibiotics and then it started to come back, I would take 9 Killer Biotic a day. I would do 9 Killer Biotic a day, and I would do that for 7 days. So give that a try, see what happens, and also remember that the immune system is made from protein. So whenever you're trying to fight an infection, whether it's a viral infection or a bacterial infection, it's always a good idea to increase your protein consumption. So 50% of every meal that he eats, until the infection's gone, should be protein. So eggs, steak, chicken, fish, rice and beans, mixed salted nuts, right? Every day, all the time. 50% of each meal should be protein, and sugar, too much sugar, will suppress the immune system for a little while. So no honey, no maple syrup, no molasses, no agave. Cut way down on concentrated sugars. The only concentrated sugar actually I would recommend he take until this is gone is a little bit of orange juice to wash the Osteo FX Plus down, the white liquid calcium. So give that a try. 1 ounce of the calcium 4 times a day and a couple of ounces of orange juice plus the Killer Biotic. See if that eases his back pain and eases his way into the land of Nod. And if it does, then you are halfway there. And keep at it, Sandy. It's just a matter of time until your efforts produce good results. So good on you for attempting to drag your husband into the wonderful world of medical nutrition. Thanks so much for the call. David is up next. David is calling with a question about congestive heart failure. David, thanks for the call. You are live.
Hello, doctor. I've got a mom a bit far away from me. I can't get to her to help her, but she's got, high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, AFib, and mitral valve prolapse. So what do you think?
Well, I'll tell you what I know. High blood pressure most of the time is a calcium and magnesium deficiency, because there are little muscles in your arteries that help the arteries pump blood. And the muscle in the artery is like a muscle anywhere else in the body. It needs calcium and magnesium to constrict and relax. Well, if your body runs out of calcium and magnesium, which is very easy to do if you're not supplementing, the tendency is that your muscles will constrict, but they won't relax, or they have a hard time relaxing. This is what leads to chronic low back pain. It's what leads to bad menstrual cramps in young girls. It's what leads to muscle twitching, eyebrow twitching, eyelid twitching, restless legs at night in bed, Charlie horses of your muscles at night in bed, or if you're doing exercise. All of these things are calcium deficiencies because the muscles constrict and have a hard time relaxing. Well, if the artery muscle constricts and has a hard time relaxing, your blood pressure is going to spike. So the first thing to consider with high blood pressure is we need more calcium. All right, I'll tell you how to dial that in a second. Congestive heart failure, according to Dr. Wallach's research, $25 million of federally funded research, 26,000 autopsies, 10 million blood chemistries, thank God for Dr. Wallach, shows that congestive heart failure most of the time is related to an egregious vitamin B like baby 1. B like baby 1. The biochemical term for vitamin B1 is thiamine. Thiamine, thiamine, or vitamin B like baby 1. It's vitamin B1 deficiency. So whenever somebody has either a presumptive or a definitive diagnosis of congestive heart failure, we load them up with the B vitamins, okay? So, and I'll tell you how to do that in a minute. A funky heartbeat, AFib, means sometimes your heart beats normally, sometimes it doesn't. And, you know, you never know what's going to happen. Sometimes that's caused by degenerative disc disease. Usually in elderly people, that's the cause, because most elderly people are at least an inch shorter than they used to be when they were younger. Well, why has that happened? Because the discs in their back have shrunk. Now, funky heartbeats can also be a simple mineral deficiency as well. So we're going to kind of do a 2-for-1 here and see. So the recommendation for all of this stuff for the first month would be 1 healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, 1 extra bottle of Cal Toddy, which is a liquid calcium, 1 extra bottle of Cal Toddy, and 1 bottle of D-Stress, D like David, D-Stress, that's the B complex longevity supplement. So 1 D-Stress, 1 extra bottle of Cal Toddy, 1 healthy start pack, and 1 bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month. Give your mother that program for 8 weeks and have her stop eating gluten. See what happens to the blood pressure. See what happens to the congestive heart failure and the heartbeat, and then call me back. And thanks for calling, David. You are the man. Slowly and slowly and slowly we trundle towards the truth, ladies and gentlemen. But, you know, the truth is like a velvet glove, because once you have experienced it, you're in its delicate grasp forever. There's no going back once you've discovered the truth of things. And this is our mission. This is why Longevity was formed as a networked business, to show people the truth, that there is an alternative to drugs and surgery. There are science-based, clinically verified treatments that support and promote the health of your body in the face of most chronic diseases, and they're available right now, and people have been using them for decades. But you don't know about them because the pharmaceutical industry is in control of everything here in the United States. Quite frankly, it ain't just the United States where all this nonsense is going on. This type of subterfuge and misinformation and misdirection about the wonders of drugs and the horrors of vitamins is rampant all over the globe. And it is, as Alex Jones says, a prison planet. And I am here to unlock your cage and set you free. Mike, you're going to be my last caller today with a question, I think, about a gluten-free diet. Thanks for calling, man. You are live.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, so I had digestive issues when I was younger, and I went to the doctor 10 years ago, and they said, well, you have the onset of osteopenia, you have malabsorption, but we don't think you're gluten intolerant because we did a genetic test or something. And so the last 3 months, I've decided that I'm going to get off gluten as much as I can. So I've been taking the Healthy Start Pack for 3 months. So I've been trying to find things to eat, and I've been eating these Amy's gluten-free, non-GMO soups. But I saw on the ingredient label that they have olive oil, and I thought I heard Dr. Wallach saying avoid oil. So I'm just going to ask, what are some things I can eat, because it's hard to avoid? And also, is there anything else I should be taking besides the Healthy Digestion Pack? Sorry.
Okay, so do you have any, health complaints like high blood pressure or insomnia or arthritis or anything bothering you?
I've always kind of had insomnia. This past week, my sleep has been getting a lot better. So, other than that, I don't think I have high blood pressure. I've never really checked it. I'm 25, so I'm not.
Yeah, okay. And so life is pretty good for you. Your energy's okay, your mood's okay, your memory's okay, your skin's okay. You don't have eczema or psoriasis, and your life is pretty good.
Energy is it's so-so, and my skin. I've had acne my whole life, it seems, but it's starting to get better. And I used to have a little bit of eczema, but it's starting to get better. So.
Okay, so here's what I would do. Most of the time, acne is a function of too much sugar in the blood at any given moment in time, and sometimes that's because we're eating foods that are, loaded with, we're eating too many carbs, or we're eating, too many sweets, or we're eating the appropriate amount of carbs or the appropriate amount of sweets, but our body is having a hard time processing them. So what I would recommend for 3 months by way of experiment is to switch from the Healthy Start Pack to the Healthy Blood Sugar Pack. Because the Healthy Blood Sugar Pack is the Healthy Start Pack plus a bottle of something called Sweeties, which is specifically designed to support and promote and optimize your body's ability to process sugars. So you might not know what you're missing, and by adding the Sweeties into the mix every day, it might round out your energy and give you a better quality of sleep. Eczema is a function of not enough essential fatty acids and an allergy to the wheat molecule. So since you're gluten-free now, you've eliminated wheat from your diet, and that's a good thing. So that's probably why the eczema is getting better, because you're gluten-free now, and wheat is the biggest culprit generically when it comes to the persistence of an eczematous condition on the body. But extra essential fatty acids can help the skin to heal. So you might want to double down on your EFA dosage for a couple of months to see what happens. Now, Dr. Wallach recommends no oil, but what we're talking about here is large doses of oil, like salad dressing, stir-frying something in oil, oil that's mixed in with hummus, or, big doses of oil, like is in Indian food, right? Or Italian food. There's lots and lots and lots of oil. The tiny amount of oil that's in gluten-free baked goods is irrelevant. You don't need to worry about that. So we're good with that. Udi's, by the way, UDI''S, D like David, U, D like David, I''S. They make some of the best gluten-free bread I've tasted. And there's a type of pasta called tinkyata, T like Tammy, I-N-K-Y-A, D like David, A, tinkyata. They make an excellent pasta that's gluten-free. So check it out, man. Learning how to live a gluten-free lifestyle is like learning how to ice skate. You just got to keep going until you're skating circles around everybody else. Keep up the good work, man. I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in.